We'll come to the last two topics, inheritance and polymorphism. So inheritance is, so I will give an example and see, so that you will be like more able to appreciate. So inheritance is a powerful feature which is a capability of one class to derive or inherit the properties from another class. Like you can see, a child has characteristics which the child inherits from both parents, right? So a child has a father as well as mother, and the child will sometimes we tell that okay, the child's eyes looks like his father's, or the child's ears look like his mother's, or things like that, right? So basically, a child inherits characteristics from father as well as mother. So that is like a particular case of inheritance. And if I want to club with my example of humans that we were considering, we can see that father as well as mother both are subclasses of human. Like father, similar to my Arun and Arjun that we considered, father as well as mother belong to the class called human, right? And since the child is derived from father and mother, by default the child will also be human only, right? So that is like a direct, indirect inheritance from human to child. So let's try to implement these functions, and using these functions we will see the next two features, that is inheritance and polymorphism. We will see using this father mother child example or human father mother child example. These four classes we will try to implement, and some additional readings I have given, so that will you can refer that for some additional topics which are related to inheritance, like terms, generalization, specialization, composition, aggregation. So these are like things that can come in interviews, sort of things. So you can get to know what it is. So you can just go through the links. I will not cover those in my session. So suppose my human is same as earlier. So I am defining an instance method called sleep, same as previous thing. And I am defining a class father. So here you can see in the first example that we saw, we created a class. We did not define anything inside that. We just put a pass. And when we printed it using help, we saw that inside bracket, it came with a built-in type object. So similar to that way, here I am telling that I create a, in the blueprint I am telling that the father class should be derived from my base class, which is called human. So in this class, father will inherit all the traits of the human class. And I am defining one additional trait for father, that father can play. He can play games. So by like way, I am defining one particular method in father. And then I am defining a mother class just similar to father. And I am defining a new method called sing, that mother can sing songs. Now let's see how I will try to implement the inheritance from father and mother to child. So if I put child, then inside the brackets I have to put father comma mother. Now when we go further down, I will not cover that. If I put a mother comma father here and I put father comma mother here, the way it functions will differ. So we will slightly see that, but we will not touch upon the details. Okay, so and for the child, I am defining a method called cry. Child can cry. So let's run this and see. So it now we will just similar to our is instance class we saw, there is another function called is subclass. So that with that you can check whether any class is a subclass of other class. So we will just see some examples here. We will check whether human is a subclass of human, father is a or mother is a subclass of human. We will check whether child is a subclass of father, mother, or human, and whether father is a subclass of mother. So over chat you can just tell what you expect for this, whether true or false, which should come for the first one. Okay, we will run and see. So basically, as you can see, except for the last one, everything everywhere else we got true. That is like valid, right? As we saw the indirect inheritance that we saw earlier. The last one is false because father and mother are both derived from human, but both are not related to each other by inheritance. So that is why I got false there. So now let's. I just take a break for 2 minutes. I have a call. I'll be back. Just hold on for 2 minutes. Okay, so where were we? Okay, so since father and mother are not related by inheritance, we will get false at that point. Now let's see same example that we saw earlier. We will try to call the create an objects and then we will try to call the methods with that. So I am creating a human and I am calling human.sleep. So that works, right? Then I am creating an object father and I am calling father.play. Then in addition, I am calling father.sleep. So from what we told, this should also work, right? Because father is inherited from human. Again, for the mother, I do the same thing. Mother.sing and mother.sleep both works. Then, but let's see whether father.sing, right? Mother inside mother class only we have defined the sing method. So father is in no way getting the capability to sing in our implementation, right? Similarly, mother cannot play. Mother can sing or sleep. Play we have defined in father class. But once we come to the child class, as you can see, since child has inherited from father, he can play games. From mother, he can sing songs. And the child, we have defined the cry. So all these methods will work. And since by indirectly he is derived from a human, he can sleep as well. So then some advanced thing. So that is type of inheritance. So this thing you can just go through some reference material. I have just named the different types of inheritance: single, multiple, multi-level, hierarchical, hybrid. So these are like when you want to write multiple or complex problems, you may be using one or the other method similar to this. So that you can just go through Google to get more details. There are like standard definitions for each of these. I just put it here for completion sake. So that since these are all related to inheritance. And we will move to last topic of object-oriented programming, that is polymorphism. So what is polymorphism? So polymorphism, the term means that it is able to take multiple. Poly means multiple, like, and morph means form. So polymorphism means that it can take multiple forms. So in programming, polymorphism means that same name of function, but with the different parameters can be used for like different types or functions. And it means that we can call the same method name with different parameters. And depending on the parameters, it will do different things. Like if you want to add, I can add 2 numbers in Python. I can add 2 strings in Python. I can add 2 lists in Python. I can like that, right? I can add 2 strings, int, float, boolean, whatever I want. Many data types over that I can implement the same add. Right. I think we saw in session 1. Session 1 we saw with that add example only. With the different data types we were able to add it. Right. So then, for example, one type of polymorphism you can see same thing. 1, 2, 3 numbers I am able to add. 1, 2, 3 string I am able to add. Then another 3 strings abracadabra I am able to add. So like that. It is just a basic plus operator, but it is able to operate over multiple data types. So there are some different like concepts in this called duck typing and overloading and overriding. So these 3 we will just see in brief. So duck typing means that similar to what we saw earlier, add can work over many things. So duck typing is a common nomenclature in languages which are dynamically typed, such as Python. So like it is not applicable in like Java or C++. Those are statically typed, but mostly. But that in Python, where dynamic typing is involved, it means that the duck test is like a programming paradigm that tells that if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, then it must be a duck. So that way, that kind of thing you can even I have given a Wikipedia link. You can go through that to see the origin of this, why it is called so and all. And in duck typing, the to what object or what action I need to do is determined using runtime based on how it is called. And there's an example I have given from this particular site. So there they have defined a bird. So bird can fly. So it will tell fly with wings and airplane. That class they have defined a fly method. It can fly with fuel. But for fish, he's not able to fly, right? So for fish, they have defined swim. And inside the for loop, they are calling again for the type bird, airplane as well as fish. They are trying to call the object.fly method, and it succeeded for bird, it succeeded for plane, but when it came to fish, it gave me an error. Like so, this is one example for duck typing that I've just covered it for completion's sake. And then coming to overloading, we have two types of overloading. One is called operator overloading, and second is called method overloading. So operator overloading is what we saw earlier, like our plus. So suppose I want a class called vehicle, and in the constructor I define a fare. So basically for the bus I tell that the fare is 20, and for car I tell that the fare is 30. And then suppose I want to compute the total fare. So if I do bus plus car and I print total fare, what will happen? It will give me an error like this. I think similar things we saw in earlier examples also. Like it will give an error like that for this particular class type called vehicle, the plus operator is not defined. So let's see how we can define that to implement this. So basically, I will again under method, double underscore method called add, which will like override, which will like provide an implementation for the plus operator for the class vehicle. So there I will pass two objects, one of the same class, one from some other class, and I will tell that return the sum of fares from both these classes. Now, if I do this total fare example, I get 50, right? So this is one of the simplest examples that I could think of from the internet search. Of course, I didn't make up this example. Okay, so that is the operator overloading. Then there is another concept called method overloading. Method overloading. It means that a class containing multiple methods with same name but may have different arguments. So basically, Python does not support method overloading. But there are, again, like we saw for private attributes, there are some workarounds with which you can achieve method overloading. So that and all I have just given a link here. You can just go through. Then the last type of polymorphism that we will see is overriding. So overriding means that I had in our class example, I had defined that father can play, mother can sing, human can sleep, and the child can cry, right? So basically, when the child called the play method, it gave me printout like father can play, and when it mother dot sing from child dot sing, I called it gave me like mother can sing, and child dot sleep gave me like a human can sleep. So suppose I want to modify it so that the thing becomes more clear. Like now, if I call child dot sleep and I get human can sleep, then that is not correct. That is not like giving the full picture, right? It should tell me that only the child is able to sleep. So for that purpose, similar to that, I can like override the method which is defined in the base class. So basically, I can directly override it. Two examples I will show. I will just comment this super thing. So I can call write all those functions here, same, and I will print in the child can sleep, in play, child can play, in sing. So that way I will define. And then I will try to call all these. So as you can see here, for all messages I got like child can do these things. Now suppose I needed, it is not applicable for this case, for some other case, I needed some operations in the base class and the child class I needed to repeat that and then do something else also additionally. So then I need not like repeat that much code here. So there I can use what is called a super function. So the super function basically returns the base class corresponding to this. So in this case, it will return human and it will call human.sleep. In this case, it will return father.play, and in this case, it will return mother.sing, and then followed by whatever is defined in this overridden function. So let's see it now. As you can see, I got printout like child can cry and father can play games. So child can play games. Mother can sing songs. So child can sing songs. Human can sleep. So child can sleep. So that way, this is more like more useful way to implement inheritance, right? So if you want, you can fully override the method. If you want, you can use the old method. Or the third case, you can use the base class method, and in addition, implement your own functionality, right? So then one more thing I wanted to cover. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So one point here is I call child.sleep here. So as we saw earlier, the child is derived from father and mother, but not directly from human. But sleep is defined in human method, right? So there are two paths here. The sleep can come through father human root or mother human root. Like we tell human has 23 pairs of chromosomes. Out of that 23 come from mother, 23 come from father, like that. So from where this sleep method is, which root this sleep method is applicable. So that is what I want to tell. Like we defined earlier, now when we defined child, I told like father and mother. If I define and if I define mother and father, then both way the implementation will be different. So that is what comes into play here. So now I am just defining my class once again. Again, same classes because I need to do some modifications here. So I have not modified my sleep. I have not modified my father play. But similar to what we saw, method overriding, we are overriding my sleep method of father. Well, you need not go into details here. You can just, if you get some similar kind of requirements, you can just refer to this code and implement. Because for normal writing Python codes and all, this is not required. I'm just telling this as a feature of polymorphism. I'll just run this and see, because you may become confused if I go into details of this. You can always go through the code if you get some similar requirements. As you can see here, here basically my objective is I had inherited from father and mother, so I need to basically control from which root, through the father root or mother root, that human.sleep comes down. So here, as you can see, no confusion with father play games, sing songs, etc. Here, as you can see, human.sleep, father can sleep, mother can sleep, child can sleep. All these came with the way I have implemented it. So you can go through the implementation later. So with that, we will conclude our object-oriented programming thing. Okay. Any doubts? If no doubts, we will just cover string methods also fast, maybe 15 minutes. Or you are already fed up for the day and we should have this later. Anyway, it will not take much time. This is more simpler thing. Just library we will familiarize. So any doubts? Or you need to go through into details. 21:15 we will start strings and we will wind up by 21:30. Okay.